everybody. Welcome back to Happily Booked, the bookcast where two kindred spirits believe that the pursuit of happiness is the same thing as reading a good book and being able to talk about it. We're your hostesses, Brookie and
Becky.
and hello, everybody. This is the first time I think we're doing just a video voice chat recording. I think this year. No, is that right? That's right,
I
right?
think so. I
Because
think so.
we did it a good chunk of last year until the end of the year. And yeah, this is the first time we've done it because we wanted to. Our goal was to just record in person because that's just easier and fun for us. But this works too. So,
But we didn't want to miss another week because we've already missed 2.
right.
And the girls have hand, foot, and mouth.
Yeah, I
I
can't
don't know
believe
how they
it.
got it.
I know that really, and because they're so much older, I'm like, how? Because that's normally like a baby, toddler, itty bitty kid thing.
Yeah.
But I mean, anybody can get it. But like, it's just normally that's the age range that normally gets it. So I was like, I don't understand how
Right.
they got it either, unless it was in church because somebody else had it and didn't realize it, or a toddler was there and didn't realize it, and I don't know.
Right.
That's crazy.
Right. And it's highly contagious, so I'm nervous.
Yeah, you're like hide. Let me go hide in my car.
Uh,
Yeah.
anyway, so hopefully everything will be back to normal next week.
Right. So we're gonna try to keep this episode to more like a 45-minute, just so you can go get medicine and all the things you need, and then I need to go back upstairs and put Sesson down for a nap after this. So I could
Right.
have put him down for a nap before we started recording, but I was like, I really savor the quiet hour and a half that I get where I can just sit in silence and either read or crochet or whatever. I contemplated when he goes down for a nap, maybe I'll go outside if it's not raining too hard and like try and plant carrots. But
Oh.
I don't know if I will have it in me after we're done recording. So it's also been raining nonstop. So it's like I don't want to go out there and just stand in the rain. So but it feels so much better than these past 2 days. It had been so hot and now it's like slightly cold.
It feels so good outside.
I know. I'm like, wow. I yesterday all day it rained, and me and Austin didn't really go outside at all. He went out and took care of the animals in the morning, and then like that was it. And all day went by, and I looked at him and I said, for a second there, I was thinking, I just realized I hadn't been outside like all day, and it feels really good. Like, why didn't I go outside? I was like, oh, it's because it's been raining all day. Right, right. So yeah, guess what it is. Okay. Um, I actually have a lot to haul, but I'm only gonna haul one thing. And I'm gonna save it, which is what I was gonna originally do. It's not just because we're gonna make this not an hour and 15 minutes or something.
I feel bad.
No, I was already going to do that because I was like, we haven't recorded in like 2 weeks or so, or we keep missing some, skipping. And I'm like, I've finished a lot of stuff. So I don't want to like overcrowd the episode. Not like I can even remember what half the stuff is that I finished, but but I don't want to like sit here and haul a bunch of stuff and talk about a whole bunch of books that I finished.
Yeah.
It's just I can break it up. It's fine. It's not a big deal. So, but I'm going to ask you, do you have any hauls or anything you would like to talk about?
I can't think of any hauls that I have. Just sick children.
Yeah. Yay, what a haul. Um, yeah. I don't even all of all the things that I did recently purchase or books I have to haul, I don't I think I only paid for like one or two, and I think I have like 6 or 7 books.
That's amazing.
I know, right? But yeah, that'll be for next week. um, the one thing I will haul, it's gonna be backwards on the camera because I flipped the camera because of my own preferences. But so you can see the cover at least a little bit. I don't know. It's called
Yeah.
Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow by Gabrielle Zevin. And I've been wanting to read this for a very long time. I think it's one. I'm going to read the synopsis in a second, but I think it's one of those stories where it's like it follows a bunch of different characters, like every other chapter, different point of views, and we see how they like connect and how what they have to do with each other's lives and stuff, like almost like it's a short book, but I feel like it's going to feel vast and long. What am I trying to say? So I'm going to read this little synopsis on the back. And yeah. On a bitter cold day in the December of his junior year at Harvard, Sam Macer exits a subway car and sees, amid the hordes of people waiting on the platform, Sadie Green. He calls her name. For a moment, she pretends that she hasn't heard him, but then she turns and a game begins, a legendary collaboration that will launch them into stardom. These friends, intimates since childhood, borrow money, beg favors, and before even graduating college, they have created their first blockbuster, Ichigo. Overnight, the world is theirs, spanning 30 years from Cambridge to Venice Beach. Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow is a dazzling novel that examines the multifarious nature of identity, disability, failure, and the redemptive possibilities in play. And above all, our need to connect, to be loved, and to love. Yes, it is a love story, but it is not one you have read before. Doesn't that sound nice? I've always loved the cover, though. I think the wave, it's like a wave. I think that's pulled from, there's a famous painting that has that wave in it, and I think it's pulled from that, but I don't know for sure. It could be somebody else's wave. I don't know. But I'm only hauling this one. I'm actually hauling this way out of order, technically, if I were to do it in the order that I received these books. Because I tricked the book club that me and my mom are in into reading a book I wanted to read. And it's this one.
That's funny.
Because they voted on a book, and it was like, we had like 3 choices and we voted, and the one that won the vote was a romance book, but it's by an author that writes like smut romance. And I was like, I don't really want to read that. And if they really didn't want to change the book, I would have read it, I guess, or just not read it. You know, whatever. I would have just not gone, I guess. But they were like, oh, it's okay. We can read something else. I don't want to read about that stuff either. I didn't realize or whatever. I was like, okay, well, here's a book if y'all are interested that I just been wanting to read. So now I have it. I'm excited. I think it's going to be good. I think I'm going to like it.
That's
I hope.
I hope you love it. I hope it gets 5 stars from you.
Yeah, that was my little trickery that I committed.
That's funny.
I think so. Yeah. So we have not recorded a normal episode since July 7th. By the way.
Oh, because it was our book club book last week.
Yeah. And I jotted that down just to remember, or so I could go back and like see which books I have finished since then or whatever. And I was like, that's crazy. It was July 7th was when we recorded. So since then, I had finished 9 things.
Wow.
So
I'm not sure. I should have gone back and looked. I know one book that I finished.
I should have texted you that.
It's okay. It's all right. For sure, I've finished one and I know what that is, so I'll be okay.
Yeah. So you go first. What have you finished since we last?
Well, do you want me to do a quote? I actually got a physical copy of a book.
I'm so proud.
It's actually the book that I've been reading, and I have a quote. If you want me to do that first,
I do. Go for it.
Okay. Where the devil is he? Emerson took out his watch and examined it, scowling. He ought to have been here 2 hours ago. He was referring not to the cat Bastet, but to our son Ramses, whom we had not seen for 6 months. At the end of the previous year's excavation season, I had finally yielded to the entreaties of our friend Sheikh Mohammed. Let him come to me, the innocent old man had insisted. I will teach him to ride and shoot and become a leader of men. The agenda struck me as somewhat unusual, and in the case of Ramses, alarming. Ramses would reach his 16th birthday that summer and was, by Muslim standards, a grown man. Those standards, I hardly need say, were not mine. Raising Ramses had converted me to a belief in guardian angels. Only supernatural intervention could explain how he had got to his present age without killing himself or being murdered by one of the innumerable people he had offended. In my opinion, what he required was to be civilized, not encouraged to develop uncivilized skills at which he was already only too adept.
Wow. I like that. That was funny. I think, I mean, I know that's from one of the Elizabeth Peters books. One of her books.
Yes,
I don't know which one because there's a million, but
there are.
I do know that that's the author.
So it's from Seeing a Large Cat.
Seeing a
And that is,
large cat. Okay.
yes, and that is the one book I know for a fact I have finished over the last few weeks.
Yeah, that's the one you had realized a couple weeks ago that you skipped because it had it. I
No,
remember.
that was Deeds of the Disturber.
Was
Oh,
it?
so maybe I finished Deeds of the Disturber too.
Okay.
Deeds of the Disturber, and then this is the one that comes after. I bet there's a list in the front of this book. This one came after. I feel like this is not in the right order. Oh, this has other books, not just her Amelia Peabody books.
Mhm.
Uh, well, I I think it came after The Last Camel Died at Noon.
Mm.
And if I weren't on my phone to talk to you, I would look it up, but I don't want to
Okay.
mess up anything.
Yeah. I can
So
in the
we're
show
gonna.
notes, I'll put like the number that it is in the series next to it. That's what I try to remember to do with series.
I
So,
think it's the 10th book.
that's such a big number.
Not, I'm not 100% sure because now I'm currently reading her next one, and it might be the 10th book. So
Yeah. That's okay.
happy hunting on that one.
Thank you. Oh man. Okay. So is that all you finished? Should I look on Storygraph real quick? Let me look.
You can, but I'm pretty sure Deeds of the Disturber might have been finished within that time period, and then Seeing a Large Cat. So those might be the two that I finished.
Somebody, I don't know if I think I brought this up when it happened. Somebody who is a stranger to me befriended me on Storygraph.
Yes, you did mention that.
It's their name on here is Tess Wrights. So if that's you, if you're a listener, hey. But every now
And
and
thank
then
you.
I'll see that that person has updated all the books they've read or whatever.
Uh huh. Is she reading good stuff? Anything that you'd be interested in reading?
At one point, yes, I just saw her name while I'm looking for your stuff, so I didn't really look at see what she finished. So I'll have to go back. But let's see. It doesn't really tell me. So obviously you finished what you were looking for is in the library because we talked about that. That was our book club.
Right.
Yeah, and then you finished The Deeds of the Disturber. Amelia Peabody number 5 is The
Yeah,
Deeds of
that's
the
how far back
Disturber.
I
That's
had
right.
missed it.
That's right. And the short stories of Virginia Woolf.
Oh yeah, I did. I did read those.
That's only an hour and 42 minutes. Hot dog. And these
Yes.
Amelia Peabody series books are like 14 hours. That's crazy. So the one you're on is Seeing a Large Cat, and that is number 9.
That's the one I finished.
Just
That's the one
finished.
I just
Okay.
finished. I'm on number 10 now. And you
Okay.
should be able to see it under my currently reading.
There it is. The Ape Who Guards the Balance. Number 10.
Yes. Yeah.
Cool. Look at you.
I hope my mom has that physically because I started reading it on Friday and I noticed that it's supposed to be off of Storygraph by tomorrow.
Off
I
of
mean, not
Everend?
Storygraph, off of Audible
Oh,
by tomorrow.
Audible.
It's not on Everand.
They're taking it off of Audible?
They're making it unavailable to me after August 5th.
That's kind of crazy.
So, I'm going to have to try to physically read it, I think.
That's kind of crazy. I
Which
didn't
means I'll
think
have to
that
start a new
Audible.
audio.
Yeah. I didn't think the Audible did that.
I've had several that it did that to me with. And I purchased some of them with credits. I'm like, but if I purchase it with a credit, how can you make it unavailable to me?
Right.
It should be in
Give
my
me my
library
credit
forever.
back.
Right.
That's crazy. Oh, Tess Wrights has read To the Lighthouse by Virginia Woolf.
Oh.
And she's read books that are in the Inheritance Games by Jennifer Lynn Barnes, which I'm interested in those books. Bittersweet in the Hollow looks neat. The cover does, by Kate Pearsall.
Did she rate it?
Wayward. Yeah, she rated that. Well, actually, no.
Oh.
Just kidding. Wayward by Emilia Hart is something I would be interested in. She did not rate that either. Yeah, I mean, there's some stuff that I'd be interested. Oh my god, my phone. There's some stuff I'd be interested in. That's what it's on. It's this phone case. It was in a little phone stand
Oh,
tripod thing. Um, but the phone case is slightly too bulky for it to be really secure. Like you can see Stetson. I don't know if you can see Stetson. He's just sitting there chewing on his hands.
Oh, yeah.
He's been teething like crazy.
Poor
Like he
baby.
cannot stop chewing on his hand. So I try to give him like a teether or something, and he does that for a while. But then when it's not cold, he's like, nah. And then he's like, back to my hands. And then for the most part, he's good about not chewing on his toys. But then I'll catch him starting to chew on some toys, and I'm like, no. Do you want a teether? And he's like, okay, teether. Whatever.
Okay, Mom, whatever.
Jeez. Okay. Anyway. Okay, so you finished a couple things. Your books have been long. I mean, we've read longer books, but 14 hours is still pretty hefty.
Yeah.
I mean, that explains it. So, I have been reading a bunch of short books. So,
all right, let's get into it.
let's get into it. Let's see if I can remember anything about any of these books. So, the first one I finished since that date was The Last Murder at the End of the World by Stuart Turton, which I really liked. I really liked that.
It was very good.
It was very good. I didn't see. Okay, so I sort of saw the twist about the fog killing only humans later. I sort of make sure this isn't clicked on so I don't draw on my head. I sort of thought that, but then I was like, well, I don't really know how accurate I am about that. It felt a little far fetched when I was guessing that. But then it happened, and I was like, oh, wow. That makes sense now when you think about everything else prior. And
Right.
It's been a little while since I've read it, so I don't remember it in its entirety and as fresh as it would have been. But I really did like it. I liked that when I found out that the main characters, well, our main character who is our detective, and then everybody else, most of them are not human. That they're actually like this. What would you say? I mean, I know they said a specific word in the book. I can't think of it now. Simulates, something like that. But they're made to be servants and assistants and to help humans. And I remember thinking, they keep saying that this scientist is so tall. Like, how tall is she? I kept thinking, like, is she like 9 foot tall? Like, what is she? But no, they're just really small. And I would be interested to see this adapted into like a show or a movie series, or a movie, not really a series, but I think I would prefer show because I think they can always add more from the books into the TV shows because they have more time to work with.
Right.
But yeah, I really liked it. I liked the setting. I liked
What
I
did
liked
you
the
think
end.
about? How did you feel about like the AI um having her dismember her?
I liked it, but it also made me a little sad. Even though 99% of the story I didn't trust her, come the end, I was like, "Oh, like you could trust her. She was telling the truth. Everything was right." It's like just when you leave stuff out, you just don't tell all of the truth. But I
Right.
did it did like make me a little sad when she was like basically going to die, I guess, but
Yes.
being put out of business.
I was sad about that too. And I was like you, I kind of wasn't sure if I was supposed to trust her all the way through the book or not.
Yeah.
And but she was just working within parameters that were set.
Mhm.
I mean, she's a computer,
Right.
so she can only work within the parameters that she's been programmed to work within. But she wanted them all to know the truth.
Right. But she couldn't just flat out say it.
Right.
Yeah. And then the fact that at the end it was considered like the last murder because it was the last like human to be murdered, and all of the humans that were left were just in, I think, in Stassi. And I
Yes.
liked that. I liked that it was just the little, I can't think of what they were called.
They're
Simulates?
basically they're like personal robots. But
Yeah.
yeah.
Like, I liked that it was just up to them after that. I don't know. I like stories that end in a weird, kind of bittersweet, sad way where it's like, oh,
Yeah.
this is almost practically the end of humanity. And I don't know why. It's just something that, I don't know. It just, it's really sad, but it's also almost like finally peaceful in a
Right.
way. So I don't know. I liked that story a lot. Um, I won't tell you what book, but I have a Stuart Turton. Actually, I sent you a picture on Snapchat, so it really depends on if you remember what was in the picture. But I have a Stuart Turton book to haul.
Oh,
Yeah,
can't wait.
yeah. Then I
I
finished.
don't remember it.
Yeah, I mean, it's okay. Then I finished The Summer House by James Patterson because of the book. It was our book club book with the other ladies
Yeah.
book club. I
Did
don't.
you like it?
I did.
Oh, I'm
Okay.
sorry.
No, you're fine. The first like 75%, 50 to 75% of the book, I was like, it's kind of boring. Kind of boring. But then it got like that halfway to the 75% mark. It it started to pick up pace, and I found it more interesting because one of our main characters who's trying to figure out um what this mystery of what actually happened at the summer house, he goes overseas, I believe to Afghanistan, to figure out why the the army rangers, would be blamed for this murder in the summer house. The locals call it the summer house. So why they would now be blamed for the murder that took place here. And the truth is overseas. So he goes overseas, and then it switches from him being in Afghanistan to the characters that are left in basically Savannah, Georgia, trying to figure out on their end what happened. And it keeps going back and forth, and that like it really picked up the pace. And it's like, oh my gosh, I need to know what happened. What happened? What is the truth? Um, so that was it was pretty decent after that. But I will say the first chunk I was like, it's kind of boring. Not really feeling it. There's a little too much information. Like it was just like too much description, too much. Like move on. Like I found myself skipping over things just to get to dialogue, and I was like, I'm getting bored. And then it picked up
Right.
pace at that middle bark ish area. Um,
How did the other ladies feel about it? Did they think the same thing?
some did, yeah. Um, yeah, I think we were all pretty much on the same page. I liked the ending. It was good. It was kind of happy ending, so that was good. I got really scared there for a second. I remember that. But it ended pretty well.
Yeah.
Then I read Flawless by Sara Shepard, which is the second book in the Pretty Little Liars series. I was listening to those on Everand, and I don't remember too much about it because they're so short and kind of like dramatic. And I've seen the TV show, so it's like, I have a hard time differentiating now between the TV show and the books. But somebody died at the end of Flawless. Actually, somebody's been, so far, I'm only reading the third one right now, but so far, at the end of all of them, somebody's dead. So, the end of Flawless, somebody died, and I was like, I cannot believe that. I didn't know that this character was killed. And I texted Lexi because she's read these, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so sad. I really liked that character. And in the show, this character has a bigger impact and like it forms a relationship with somebody else, and you really root for it. And it's like a whole thing. And in this book, they just die instead, or they're killed, or whatever. And I was like,
man.
I cannot believe it. And she was like, yeah, I know, crazy. But it was good. Now, in regards to that series, I'm still reading it. I'm on the third one, and it is called Perfect. Not too far in it. And then I finished a book called, a sci-fi, called All Systems Red by Martha Wells. And I've seen her name a lot before I started reading this, but I had this book saved on like my Kindle, like just a list of books I'd want to read because it always seemed interesting. It's called the Murderbot Diaries, and I will say I went into it thinking it was going to be more like action-based sci-fi as opposed to like sort of almost like Psalm of the Wild Built, which is more like a kind of calm, the robot is working through feelings kind of thing. So it's actually a little bit more like that, I feel like, with some action mixed in, which is still good. But I will say I did not expect it to be like you're following a robot who has anxiety, you know, like. I just find it's just interesting. It's good though so far. I'm still reading in the series. I'm on the third one now, but after All Systems Red is Artificial Condition in that same series, and I finished that one. All very good. So far, each book is just basically the robot trying to figure out what happened in its past. So it's been going to different places to figure out what happened, to piece it together. So each book is basically at a different location, or a different planet, a different whatever. So then I finished Jaws, you know, the Jaws. And it was okay. There was only like 3 genuinely scary moments. And when they were happening, it was scary. The rest of the book was just sort of slow. I don't know. It wasn't bad. It was written very well. I enjoyed it. But then you're following like this shark eating people all of a sudden, and then the town is like, "Oh, we've got to figure out why this is happening. Where's the shark at? We've got to kill the shark. We've got to stop the shark and close the beaches." And then it like changed direction to a wife cheating on a husband. And I almost felt like it was just sort of random. Like, it does talk about how the husband is the sheriff of the town, and he's like, you know, lately she hasn't seemed like she's really liked me. I don't know why, you know, whatever. But he like adores his wife, adores her. And she like longs for the life she had before him almost, because I guess she was like made of money and now she's not. And so she like is having a hard time with that. And so her decision to how she's gonna fix that, how she's gonna remedy that, is to cheat on her husband. And I just don't. It felt really weird. And she's forgiven at the end, all is well. It's like she had to cheat on him to realize how much she loves him, which I don't agree with that, but
No.
you know, at least she came back around, I guess. I don't know. And then the guy that she cheated on him with died, so that was good. Because he was real awful. Like, at first, I thought she's about to make advances on him, and he's gonna be like, look, you're married. Like, I'm not here to, have this affair with you. I'm here to help find this shark. and, but no, he was like, yeah, we'll have an affair.
Wow.
I mean, I really thought he was gonna be nicer than he was, and he really turned out to be a jerk. But it just felt weird. That whole like portion of the story, I was sort of like, you could have maybe mentioned this, but like it didn't have to be like a couple chapters, it was just kind of weird. Like I thought this was about finding a shark and saving the town, like not an affair. But it was good other than that. I will say it wasn't as good as I expected it to be. So that was kind of it was a little disappointing, but it could have also been worse. So whatever. Then I finished What You Are Looking For Is in the Library, our book club book, which if you haven't listened is the episode that actually came out today, which is August 4th. So go back and give her a listen. I waited to edit it until during the day and then last night, because I told the people who I thought were going to, I'm not throwing any shade, all right? But I feel like it sounds like I am. The people who I thought were going to participate, I told them that I wasn't going to edit it until closer to the following day, than Monday, that it needs to be published, and in case they wanted to send a recording in or whatever. So I waited until then.
Right.
They didn't, but that's okay. So yeah,
it was still a good episode.
It was still a good episode. I enjoyed it. And I feel like now you are really interested in translated Japanese fiction.
I am.
That's fun. Then I finished Wild Dark Shore, which is the book club that me and Lexi went to in Raleigh. That book was so good.
Good.
And I've read 2 other books by the same author, so I kind of knew what to expect. And I was very pleased with it. If you liked Charlotte McConaghy's Migrations or Once There Were Wolves, you will probably like Wild Dark Shore. It evokes all the same feelings. I liked it a lot. The rest of the girls in the book club apparently didn't.
Wow.
And I am a little offended for Charlotte McConaghy. And Lexi was like, it was so good. And like, hello, it's not just me. But yeah, they seemed to have thought it was too slow or boring and confusing, which I didn't agree with any of that. But I mean, okay, no, slow is not necessarily a bad thing. It was a little slow. That's because it's set on this very isolated island where there's only like 8 people and it's quiet. What else do you expect? Like, it's just a quiet, isolated island. And then they talk a lot about like the things that happened on the island prior to when they arrived, or the things that have happened since they arrived are like haunting them mentally and emotionally and stuff. Like, one girl was like, I thought it was going to be like a ghost story, and it wasn't. And I was like, that's not what it was. But
she wanted it to be a ghost story?
I think she just thought it was going to be a ghost story. And I was like, that's not really the kind of ghost that she's talking about. It's more of just like these things are just haunting these people. You know what I mean?
I do know what you mean.
But I actually thought it was very good. It was very good. So that, is what it is. Then I finished a very short book by Stephen Graham Jones called The Long Trial of Nolan Dugatti, which I read it on Kindle, and it's a very short book, and the timeline within the book is also very short and very quick. It's all set within this office building where this one guy has to show up for one more day of work while everybody else is already gone and cleaned out. But he has to be there. He's all by himself. And because he has to answer phone calls for people who might need to call in and ask questions about this certain video game. But after this last day, like, there will be no more access to a helpline for this video game because it's so old. And while he's there, he gets a call from a detective who wants to ask him questions about his father's death. And while that's going on, he's like having flashbacks to his father. This was such a weird story. I'm not even gonna lie, like, it was a weird story. But his father tries to take his life multiple times, but in some of the most bizarre ways. Like, one of them was he tried to cover a like racquetball with like lard and shove it down his throat so that nobody could get it out and that he would then choke on it. Like, it was very weird. It was very
That is weird.
Absurd ways to try, I guess you could say, to do that. And so he's having flashbacks on these letters that his dad would write him about, like, please don't ever do this to yourself. I'm sorry this has to happen. Blah, blah, blah. But then he, like, goes into, like, and then insults his son in, like, in every letter and almost sort of blames him for it, for what he's trying to do. But then he explains what he's about to do, like the racquetball with lard covered. And I can't think of another one right now. But getting stung by a honeybee, which he's allergic to bees. You know, like, just such random ways you would think. And so he keeps having these flashbacks to reading all these letters and then having to save his dad because it never works. And then at the same time, he's on the phone with this detective talking about, like, what happened with his dad. And then he starts to look on the security cameras of the building that he's supposed to be alone in, and somebody's suddenly in the building and, like, making his way, I guess, to where this guy is working. And it was a very weird book in the way that it was written. I found it a little interesting, and I enjoyed it for the most part. But so, like, you know how we used to live here? It was sort of like it started to get a little weird, and
Yeah.
and then the ending was sort of like open-ended, kind of.
Yes.
So it's similar to that kind of weird, where, like, things aren't lining up, the dimensions are overlapping, like, things it's just getting odd, like a fever dream. So that's what that book felt like. But yeah, the ending was kind of vague. I didn't really understand sort of what happened at the end. I mean, I think I sort of understood, but there was a lot of, like, elements going into it that I didn't click for me. Almost like when I would read Ian Reid books, where it's like, did I miss something? But I like Stephen Graham Jones, the author. I've read The Only Good Indians by him. I think that's it. I think that's all I've read by that author. So I liked that book. So for the most part, this book was okay. It was just a little weird. It was a weird book. I like weird books, but sometimes it's a little too weird.
Yeah.
Maybe I just couldn't understand it. Might just be me. But that is all I have finished since that time. How long is this?
It can't be that bad yet.
40 minutes. Not bad, not bad. So, what are you currently reading? You're reading
the ape that guards
the palace.
something.
The palace? The
Yeah,
balance.
something. The balance, yeah.
I was like, the palace. No. So that's what you're reading. Okay.
Yes.
How far are you? You're almost done? You know, halfway?
No.
Okay.
Chapter 2. That's why I'm pretty sure I'm going to have to physically read it.
Yeah.
I hope my mom
taking it off of Audible tomorrow.
I know. So sad.
That's wild. It was wild. I'm reading Cell by Stephen King.
Finally got around to it.
I'm this far in.
Okay.
I haven't updated Storygraph, so I don't know. Oh, he's messing with my yarn. I'm gonna mess that kid up. He's probably like, I'm so bored. I can only
I could
watch
bring the
so
girls
much
down.
Tractor Ted. What?
Said I could bring the girls down there. That would be a very hard punishment for him.
Oh Lord, and me.
I'm just kidding. Don't ever let him hear this. I don't want him to think that I actually would do
Like, I
that to
can't
him.
believe she doesn't like me. Yeah, Cell is going pretty well. Um, it starts off with our main character. His name is Clay Riddell, not Riddle. He specifically said that. And he's in Boston. Not Boston. I'm wearing a Boston sweatshirt. That's why I said that. He is in Chicago. And he is there for like a meeting, a business, he he just sold his graphic novel idea. So he's about to like be published and stuff like that. So I believe he flew into Chicago. I don't think he lives there or anywhere near there. No, I'm correct. He lives in Maine. Sorry, it's all coming to me. And so he finished up with the deal and he was like, all right, gotta make my way back to the hotel, whatever. What a good day this is. And he's like, let me get some ice cream at this ice cream truck. And all of the sudden, it's like everything hits the fan. It's just stuff starts happening. All of a sudden, these people in front of him, people around him, people everywhere start to just lose their minds and act crazy and do all sorts of crazy things. As you can imagine, it's Stephen King, so it gets a little graphic here and there. Like, they just start killing each other, basically killing each
Oh,
other or killing themselves, chewing a. There's one guy that had a dog. He started to eat the dog right then and there. Yeah,
no,
it's like
no.
it's crazy. And it has to do with this was written in 2006, by the way, and it has to do with something um something within like the cell phone towers. And people who now have cell phones are the only people who are affected. If you pick up a cell phone and make a phone call, whatever happens, something in the waves, um, it has to do with causing this crazy phenomenon to happen, and you go crazy, you become like a zombie. I guess it's sort of like a zombie novel. I think I was I'm not too far in it, but and I should have said this to Megan, but I said this to Austin, and I said, "Have you seen Bird Box?" And it took him a second, but he was like, "Oh yeah, the movie with Sandra Bullock. Yeah, I've seen Bird Box or whatever with the blindfolds." And I said, "Yeah," and I said, "And I don't really know if you've seen this movie, but have you seen the Crazies?" And he said yes. And I was a little surprised because he doesn't really watch he doesn't really watch movies. I'm gonna be honest with you. He doesn't really watch a lot of movies. But his preferred genre is not gonna be horror. It's more like action or whatever. So, and The Crazies is a horror movie where something in the water makes these people in this town go crazy, and they start like
Mhm.
acting sort of like zombies and killing everybody and becoming very, very, very violent. And
Oh,
I was like, yeah, this book so far is like The Crazies and Bird Box kind of combined.
oh.
So it's like kind of wild. So our main character is now holed up in a hotel with another guy he met out on the road and a guy who was working at the hotel and a young girl, like a high school girl who he saved right outside the hotel. So that's where I'm at. Landlines are safe, not cell phones, because yeah,
Scary.
it is scary. It's good so far. Yeah, yeah. I was like, so I read Wild Dark Shore, which was kind of sad and sort of dark, but not like scary or anything like that or gross. And then I read The Long Trial of Nolan Dugatti, which was not gross, but it was just upsetting, I guess, and weird and dark. And then before all that, I read What You Were Looking For is in the library, and I was like, oh, happy, 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 sweet, sweet, happy, make me cry. And then I'm like, yep, okay, well, I'm gonna pick up something else that's dark and gruesome. Here we are. So that's what I'm reading. I'm also reading Perfect, which is the third book in the Pretty Little Liars. I'm listening to it on
Right.
Brand, and then I also started. I don't think I put it on Storygraph yet, but Rogue Protocol, which is the third book in the Murderbot Diaries, which I'm reading on my Kindle. So that's that. So
Yay.
far, all is well.
Good. That's it. Those are those three are what you're reading?
Yes.
Okay. My phone's about to die, so I'm gonna rush through my part.
That's okay.
Because I don't want you to think I hung up on you.
Yeah, that would be crazy. I'd be like, well, I guess it's just me now. And I don't even know what to say at the end.
I think you could do it.
Yeah, I'll probably be right. But I'm glad you're not going to.
Oh, well, thank you as usual for listening to us, everyone. It's
Sorry
wonderful to know that. No, don't be sorry. My phone wasn't fully charged, so that's my fault. And I think the podcast sounded wonderful just on this end, so it's got to be great. You shouldn't have to edit too much.
I don't think so.
It's wonderful to know that there are so many kindred spirits in the world. Please, sorry, I'm out here watching my dad back out next to me, making me nervous. Please continue to check out Sideways Sheriff as always. He's currently our only sponsor. Maybe one day we'll have more who pay us. But thank you for Sideways Sheriff, because without him we wouldn't even have the podcast. So if we can spread the love to him and his YouTube channel, that would be great. And of course, thank you to Miss Tracy, who does our merchandise. We do have some. If anyone's interested in purchasing any, just let us know. And hopefully, if all goes well with our YouTube episodes, maybe we'll be able to start a shop, and we'll have lots of fun things on there for you guys to get on your own without contacting us.
Without contacting us, because we can't stand to be contacted.
We love to be contacted, actually.
Yeah, that would be nice if we were contacted every now and then.
Yes, if you guys have any books we have not talked about that you think we should, you can email the suggestions to us. We'd love to see what you guys are reading and how it's different from what we're reading. And I guess that's all from me until next.
So sorry.
Yes.
So sorry. Be on the lookout for an episode where I interview my sister about Hunger Games.
Oh, yes.
Or more just randomly talk about it.
No, that's good, because we almost didn't record today because of the girls.
Right.
But the suggestion was put out there for her to do an episode with her sister, who I love, and I think you guys will love her too. And that would be a great episode. So that's going to be good whenever that does happen. And we decided to do the video call instead so that we wouldn't miss out on another week. So hope you guys have enjoyed today, and look forward to that episode with Megan. That's going to be great. And until next time, stay happily booked.